Hello everyone, it is week 2B of our CSA shares and I am Stephanie, your CSA coach. So this is the second week of this season's live unboxing. Lots of greens this week. We have our salad mix. So our salad mix, I just keep just like this. Put it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. It's one of the first things you're going to want to use. Once you're ready to use it, pull it out of the fridge. I like to do a big bowl or a sink full of water, throw all the greens in, swish it around, pull it out, and then throw it in my salad spinner and get it nice and dry. The salad greens, there are tons of recipes on the website for all different versions of salads, also lots of different types of salad dressings. So I'll talk about it a lot, but the way we dress our salad changes up its flavor. And gives us variety. So it can be the same greens, but if you put a different dressing or add a couple different toppings, it changes up the makeup of the salad. So really good just as a side. You can actually eat salad for breakfast. So I've done salad on the side of like eggs, but salad greens stored in the fridge just like this. Similar to salad greens are this spinach we get from the farm. So again, I don't touch it. The less you handle these, the better off you are, and they'll last a little bit longer. I leave it until I'm ready to use it. Spinach can be eaten raw or it can be cooked. Again, once you're ready to use it, similar to the salad greens, throw it in a sink of water or a bowl of water, swish it around, get it nice and clayed, throw it into your salad spinner, and then either lightly dress it as a side, or you can saute it. It would be really good sauteed with our green garlic that we have this week. There are tons of recipes on the website for spinach as well. So if there's things that you want to try different recipes for, the first place I recommend going is to our website, because our website has specific ingredients from the farm shares. We have a new recipe every week, but there's also an archive of all the old recipes. So a great place to find things that work for a lot of the produce we get from the farm. Next up, we have kale. Kale we're gonna store in either a Debbie Meyer green bag or a plastic bag. Kale can be eaten raw, in the fridge, sorry, stored in the fridge. Kale can be eaten raw or it can be cooked. You can just lightly dress it, just like you would your salad or your spinach. You can also massage the dressings into it, which kind of breaks down the leaves a little bit and makes it a little more tender. I know there's a recipe for kale Caesar salad. There's also a recipe for ranch kale chips. I think there's a recipe for kale pesto on the website as well. So those are all options if you're looking for something different. But kale can also just be a simple sauteed green on the side. So sauteed with onion, garlic, you can use our green garlic for that. We have cilantro. So the cilantro gets stored in the fridge in a glass of water. So I already filled this glass. I like tall, lean glasses because then they're less tippy. And then put the cilantro right in, and then store it in the fridge. The other thing you can do with cilantro, because we received it last week, is you can freeze it. And I actually think, because I still have some left from last week, I'm gonna do that in Ziploc bags and measure it out first, then freeze it, so that I know the quantity so I don't have to pull out. But you can take the leaves and layer it between paper towels, like flat paper towels, and then they fit perfectly inside a large Ziploc bag. So I've done that, and then throw it in the freezer. And then you can pull out individual leaves. Cilantro is really good in Mexican dishes. Last week's recipe was a cilantro lime rice, which was amazing. A great simple side for lots of dishes, or you can make it a base for like a rice bowl, or throw it into like a burrito or a taco or something like that. So if you didn't try that recipe, you have cilantro this week and you can try it again this week. Other dishes, it's really good in salsas. It's great you can dry it. I prefer freezing this one, so to preserve it for later use. Okay, we also have bok choy. Bok choy is large this week, so I will put it in a Debbie Meyer green bag and throw it into the fridge. Bok choy is best served lightly sauteed or stir-fried. The white part of the entire thing can be eaten. So the white part is takes a little bit more time to cook than the leaves. So chop those up, keep them separate, put those in your pan first, saute them for a few minutes until they get a little bit tender, and then throw your leaves in, toss those around, and then you have sauteed bok choy. Super easy side. You can season it differently, so you can keep it just like simple garlic onion, or you can do more of an Asian seasoning. You can also add this to a larger stir fry. So that's an option, stored in the fridge. I have the large Debbie Meyer green bags or a plastic bag. If you don't have a plastic bag big enough, you can wrap it with saran wrap. That's also an option. We have a head of romaine. Again, very big. So throw it in a Debbie Meyer green bag and then put it in the fridge. Great for salads. I like using romaine for chopped salads. I also like using it on top of burgers, chopped for lettuce topping for tacos. There's tons of salad recipes on the website, but your basis is a salad. I do a lot of salads for lunches, so I'll use a lot of these salad greens as my lunches, and then we'll do something different for dinner. So stored in the fridge for that. Great as a base for a salad. Also on the hub, there's a salad board PDF. So take a look at that. It's just kind of a fun, different way to serve salads rather than one big bowl. You can kind of do like a grab and go where you have the lettuce in one section and then all the different toppings, and everyone can make their own salad. So take a look at that for inspiration for something different. Okay, 3 more items. We have green garlic. Green garlic is stored in the fridge in a plastic bag or in your crisper drawer. The entire thing can be used. I generally use about the bottom half, and then the top half I chop off and throw in my freezer bag for my veggie scraps that later will become veggie broth. Light garlic flavor, so milder than your garlic cloves, but chop it up, use it to saute, throw it into dressings. It was in the cilantro lime rice from last week. And I know there's a green garlic, I think there's a green garlic dressing recipe on the website. So that's on there. We have scallions. Scallions stored the same way in a Debbie Meyer green bag. Throw them in the fridge. You can also put them upright into a glass of water, kind of like we did the cilantro. These are a light onion flavor, so very mild. So can replace onions, can be used as a garnish on top of salads, on top of eggs, on top of mashed potatoes. You can preserve them. So last week on the unboxing, I showed you a jar of preserved dehydrated scallions that I saved from last year. So if you have a lot of scallions still left over from last week, think about maybe preserving them and dehydrating them, and then you can throw them into soups and things later in the season or in the winter time. We also got to pick 2 quarts of strawberries. The fields are muddy, so definitely wear proper footwear for that, but they're abundant, easy to pick. These get stored in the fridge, and I do not wash them until I'm ready to use them. We eat them as snacks. We often put them on top of like granola. I'm pretty sure that this week's recipe is going to showcase these. Trisha posted one of my older recipes for a salad, which we have all of those ingredients for that salad, with a strawberry dressing. So take a look at that. That's been posted in the Facebook group. It's also on the website. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's like a chicken and fruit salad on top of greens with a strawberry dressing. Also, one of my favorite recipes is for the strawberry top vinegar. So when you go to make something with the strawberries, rinse them all off, and then do not throw out your green tops. Save those, and you can make a infused vinegar with them. And then that vinegar can be used for different things as well. That's on the website also. And speaking of strawberries, I forgot to show this last week, but this is kind of one of the things I store my berries in. Again, I don't wash them, but I like to have them not sit in their juices. So this has the outside container and then kind of a colander on the inside. So that's often what I'll put my berries in to store in the fridge. And that is it for this week. Post any questions on our Facebook group. Let me know if you're struggling with any items. Things to keep in mind: if you're a full share member, take a look at what you have left from last week and focus on those items first. And then probably our first items for this week are going to be the strawberries and the salad greens that you're going to want to make a plan for. And then our other stuff is pretty hearty. Oh, I almost forgot. So sorry. It was scooched to the side. We also have kohlrabi this week. Kohlrabi is one of my favorite vegetables. I did not know it existed prior to our CSA share many, many, many years ago. So we first had it as a member of Blooming Glen. To store it, you're going to take the globes off. So cut those off, store them in a Ziploc bag separately from the leaves. Both are edible. Your leaves you're going to use just like you would any other green. So your spinach, your kale, you can saute it or add it as a side with onion and garlic, or just a simple saute and some oil. If you're not going to use the leaves, throw those in your freezer bag for future veggie broth. The bottoms can be eaten raw or they can be cooked. There's, again, lots of recipes on the blog or on the website. I know I have a kohlrabi carpaccio. I think there's a kohlrabi slaw or some sort of slaw with kohlrabi in it. There's a bunch of different recipes with kohlrabi. So if you're wondering what to do, I like to just peel it and either shred it and put it on top of my salad, or just slice it and kind of eat it like that. It's fresh, it's got a nice flavor, very mild flavor of its own. So this gets stored in the fridge, but separately, leaves separate from the globes. That is it. Pretty sure I covered everything. Sorry for mistaking that one. I will see you guys all again next week.